Welcome back. So my name is Christian Matthew, and before the guest comes up, you actually have this is in here. So thanks for joining in, everybody. It's so good to have you here. I've had several glitches, and I may not have the smallest of background. So, but regardless, I have in mind, and we're doing this together. So thank you for joining in, and let's make magic happen. So soon and very soon, I'll be bringing in more, and we'll have a smooth experience here. So before I call her up, let me read up profile so you get to know where exactly she is and how amazing she really has been. So here it is. And so Mobolaji Olorisade is a marketing manager and content creator who enjoys carrying out experiments that lead to growth. With over 5 years of cumulative experience working in both the private and non-profit sector, she has driven she has expertise driving and increasing stakeholder engagement. Using words to add feelings to digital slash technical products is a superpower, like your strength. She also teaches soft slash employability skills in order to make SCGA like that, which is decent work and economic growth, a reality, and can be found at the intersection between technology and social impact. Mobolaji Olorisade is the growth marketing manager at Cowrywise, and he has been a friend I've known for the past 3 years. Since 2019, we are at a boot camp, and I met this amazing session. So thanks for joining in, the five of you. We should have been more than this by now because we did a marketing right, but a few things dropped and we have sessions here. But regardless, we'll trooping in because this is value part. So right now, I'm bringing up Mo, but I need you right now to make all the noise you can where you are and say welcome. So one, two, three, go. Welcome, Mo. So glad to have you around. It's always amazing. I wish I could cover it right now, but it's fine. I'm currently at the office, so things are moving on background. So regardless, we're good. So Mo,
It's fun.
you have a lot of meetings this week. Let's make it short and sweet because people came to get value in the first place. So let's go. So if you have anything for the audience is going right now, what do you want to tell the audience? What do you want to tell those listening? What do you want to share to them? So that see this after now and even right now, what do you want them to know? Go ahead. Sorry, here.
Um, First of all, hi everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I think the essential thing I would want everybody to know is that these principles or tips, right, that I am about to share are not just for me, right? It's not just a Mobolaji thing, but that anybody can implement them and actually see results, right? So hopefully you would, listen, engage till the end and not just stop at that, but actually implement it and then see results in your career. So I think that's really it. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for that. That very concise. And yes, he actually has helped tons of persons transition to tech, and they are doing amazingly well where they are right now. I know people should have help. They have reached out to me saying, this person, how do you get to know and everything? And it's a celebrity like lone celebrity. But it's so good to have her. Here. Let's have this interview. So that's so good to have her here. It's so amazing to have you more. I'm very good. But let's go straight to it. Of which when you're speaking, I was spotlight you so you have the entire stage and everything. But now the first question is, what are the three most valuable lessons you've learned in your journey from a blogger to a growth marketing manager? What are the three things you've learned that have stuck with you, that took you from where you were to where you are right now, and likely will keep you on your toes to get to where you want to be? So just blow us away. You have the floor. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. So it's very interesting that today I went to my website. I know that my website needs change and all that, but I went to the blog section of my website and I was reading like some of the blog posts I'd written. Like there was a time I used to write blog posts every day, right? Now I have, reduced a bit. But I was reading those blog posts and I was like, wow, like how did I have the time? How did I think through all of these experiences and share them and all? Right. So I would say I've come a long way really from blogging to content marketer to growth marketing manager. I mean, yeah, so thankful for that. But I would say the first thing that I have learned from I won't say transition, but from like my growth from just blogging to now like managing other aspects of marketing is that the first thing is that my skill is relevant. So I find that a couple of people that maybe they don't know how to code, or they don't know how to design or do like all these specific skills in tech that people, some people regard as the top things, right? So some people don't have those skills and they feel like I can never be relevant. My skills are not relevant in the tech space. But my transition, not I keep saying transition, my growth, right, has shown me that my skills are relevant. And I remember that a few years ago when, I was writing and creating content and all that, it never occurred to me that a time could come where my writing skills would be useful in the tech space, right? So if you're here and you're listening to me and you're saying, oh, I don't have, I mean, if you want to learn how to code, I'm not, against it at all. Or if you want to learn how to design, product design, all that, I'm not against that. But I'm just saying, if you have skills that are not, in that line, do not ever think that those skills are not relevant. So that's number one thing that I have learned, from my growth, that my skills are relevant, right? As important as that is, my second lesson, right, is that I need to continually improve my skills. So, number one, I've said that I now understand that my writing skill, my ability, because it's not, I was watching a video, I think, on YouTube yesterday, and the person was talking about how, writing doesn't come easily to her. It's such a big deal. Like if she has to write 2 sentences, she'll be thinking about it. And I'm like, wow. Because me, just give me an idea. Like writing comes easily to me, and that's, obviously that's how a skill that you have been gifted with, if I can put it like that. Something that you can just sit down, somebody else will be complaining about it, but it comes easily to you, right? So going back to lessons, number one, I said that my skills are relevant. Number two, I have also learned in my growth journey that I need to continually upskill in the tech space. Just because you enter or you transition from one, maybe like a traditional setting or non-profit, right, to tech, right? The skill that got you in is great, it is relevant, it is important, but it is also important for you to understand that that skill, you can't stop there. So for example, like I am, yes, so I know that writing comes easily to me and all that, but guess what, I am no longer, when I joined my company, there's a product called Figma is like a product, or a, how do I explain product in a way that's not, because if you don't understand like the tech space, product might be weird. But yeah, an app. Should I say app? You're muted. I can't hear you. Yes, an app. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a web
Figma
app.
is
Yeah,
like,
to make to
yes,
design products.
is a web app, right? So Figma is a web app that product designers and designers use to, design and all that, right? And I know how, like, I'm not a pro, I'm not a product designer, but I now know how to use Figma. Really, like, I know how to use Figma. I know how to create reels. I know how to, like, beyond my writing skill, right? I know how to do other things that are relevant, right? So my growth has also taught me that lesson that yes, my skill is relevant, but I can't afford to stop there. And the last lesson I have learned is that I need more than my technical skills. So when you hear technical skills now, it's not just like coding. Technical skills are those, like if we sit down and ask you, do you know how to do this thing? And you say yes, you must sit down and actually show us that you know how to do it, right? So my growth has also shown me that beyond my technical skills, I need soft skills. I have to have sense. That's what I have learned. So a lot of people think that, oh, I'm just going to get the job and that's it. If you don't have sense, okay, sorry, I'm not saying you don't
This
have
is
sense, but
major.
you get me. Like work ethics, you have to be smart. you have to know
Mm-hmm.
and understand office politics. There is no, see, there
Yeah.
is no company as great as a company is that they don't have office politics. You have to understand what your bosses value, right, and go after those things. So my growth has also taught me that my skill is relevant. I can't stop at that skill. I need to learn other skills. But at number three, soft skills are important. So, you know, if you ask my teammates, and this is not me trying to brag or anything, I want everybody to be like that. If you ask my teammates, I doubt you will hear somebody who will say, I am lazy with my work, or I am not serious with my job. No, that's not the kind of brand, right, I ever want to build, right? So that's another, or yeah, my third lesson is that it's so important to have work ethics, to have leadership skills, to be comfortable going out of my comfort zone, right? And one thing I also do, I do periodic what's it called, with my boss. I like to meet him periodically to have conversations like, how do you think I'm doing? Right? I never want to be in that space where I feel like, I'm the best thing after sliced bread. I want honest um feedback, right, about how my work is doing. And for the times when I've heard, oh, you can do better, I don't take it as Mobolaji is a bad person. I take it as my work can be better. Because some people, when they get correction, I think I'm going too far, but some people, when they get correction and stuff on their work, they take it as I am a bad person. No, when somebody is giving you honest feedback, right, they are not saying you are a bad person. They are saying this thing that you have done can be better. Right. So I'm seeing appraisals. Yes, thank you. If is my friend, thank you. Yeah, so I have like constant appraisals to ensure that I am on track. So yeah, I think I've talked enough. Those are the three lessons I've learned in my growth from just blogging to like marketing in general. Number one, my skills, the skills I had at first, they are relevant no matter what it is. Whether some people even say, public speaking. If you think that you can speak really well, right? And when you are in public, people stop and listen to you. It's not everybody, right, that has that skill. So you have to, understand that that skill is relevant. Look for places where they value that skill, and then, build up on that. So yeah, that's essentially it, Christian. I think I've spoken enough
Yeah.
on
We
lessons.
had you like you were keeping feeling fire, like you're bombarding us with so much wisdom. Thank you so much, Mo. Like this is obvious. So please, if you are on the live stream right now, please do well to drop your emojis, drop your fires, drop your quotes, take screenshots and share. You can see the handles there. Mobolaji O is on Instagram. Same as mine is Chris Ogechi. But yeah, you could go to Funnels Africa, like regular Funnels Africa, and make your comments there, blow it out there.
Yeah.
So please, right now, we'll go to the next question while we still have more here because she has a meeting very soon. But let's make the most of this one right now. So my question which I've been getting so far, if I've been asking, how do we get into career wise, which is the question that I got as the event host as well as people that signed up and say, okay, how did you get in here? What happened? How do you know somebody that pushed you in? Is your father Dangote that gave birth to Otadala or something? So the question is, how did you get to career wise? Just answer the question for us.
Okay, so this is a story that I feel like sometimes I even feel like I've overshared itself, right? But I'm assuming that there are some people on, this stream that are not like close friends. But if you're a close friend, you probably know the story. But essentially, how I got into career wise, I had already been planning because I had been like an independent or what they call it now, an independent, like I was consulting on the side, I was having classes, so I was on my own basically. I didn't have like a 9 to 5. But I started to feel like, because I teach people on career, right? So I knew that it makes sense if you teach people career growth to ensure that you actually are working in a 9 to 5 with people where you are learning, interrelations, all of those things, right? But anyway, so I remember a few months before I got my job, I started to strategize about the kind of companies I wanted to work at, the kind of people, the kind of culture, the kind of pay, right, that I wanted. So after doing that, I made like a list of like just a few companies that I, thought that, it'd be nice to work here. Right. And it was funny because at the time, I don't think Wise was even on that list. Right. But I just remember creating like a shoot your shot template. So shoot your shot template is like templates of me sort of like introducing myself to somebody that doesn't know me from anywhere, but I have put it in such a way that by the time they finish reading, they are interested in knowing more about me and my skills and how I can help their company. So I reached out to a couple of people. I got some like, feedback, some calls and all that, but nothing really, clicked. Right. But I remember that for Wise, what happened was I was on Twitter one day, right? And I saw that one person in Wise, and I knew that the person was working in the marketing team, had left Wise. So she just posted on Twitter and said, my time at Wise, how people do like announcements when they leave a company. So she did that on Twitter, and I was like, if this person had left the marketing team, it appears that there is a space in the company.
That's strategic. Well done.
Right? It appears that there is a space for me. So that's what happened. When I saw that thing, I still remember it was, if I check my email, it was 7 something like PM, or it was in the night. And I saw that tweet, and I sat down. I can still remember where I was sitting in my sister's house with my laptop, checking my CV, ensuring that I wrote the right things and it was up to date and all that. And then I sat down, I was like, I need to reach out to somebody in this company. Who can I reach out to? Obviously the CEO, right? One thing I also advise, if you're trying to shoot your shot, if you can get the contact of a decision maker, so maybe the hiring manager, the CEO, it helps. But the funny thing is, I did not have my CEO's email. I sat down and I was guessing. So if you are somebody that is, a CarryWise user, you probably get emails from Okpe. So what I did, and I was already using CarryWise at the time, I went to this FBI work that I did, I went to my email and I checked Okpe's email, and I think I'd seen maybe support at CarryWise. I can't remember the exact email, but it sort of gave me an idea of how to coin my CEO's name. So for context, some companies, they use just first name, right? So it'd be Mobolaji at carrywise.com. Some companies use Mobolaji so your first name and the first letter of your surname. Some people use Mobolaji dot your surname. So I was like, which one should I use, right? And thankfully that day, my first guess was what worked, right? So in the email, I just, I went to search for the CEO's name on LinkedIn, our CEO's name on LinkedIn. I saw his first name, his last name. So I wrote the email and I attached my CV. In the email, I was essentially just introducing myself. I've called it shoot your shot so much. I've forgotten what cold emailing. Yeah. So it's actually called cold emailing, but I always say shoot your shots, right? That's what I call it. But yeah, so I said, hi or hello, good evening. My name is Mobolaji. I talked a bit about my skills. I talked about how, CarryWise, like I hyped the company a bit and how I could come in and all that. The thing, let me just stop here to say, I found that some people are looking for certain kind of opportunities but they're not willing to put in the work, right? So you are saying you want to work with a certain company, the culture is great, the pay is good, all of that, but you are applying the same way everybody's applying. Why? Right? So me, I just knew that I didn't want to go the same route that everybody was going. So I remember that evening, I think maybe like less than an hour, I got a reply, from our CEO, and it was like, oh, thank you for reaching out. Your CV looks impressive. However, we don't have an opening at the moment. Like Ella, this man is giving me Ella. But I knew that me, I had seen somebody on Twitter saying they had left. So you cannot tell me that there is no opening. That one is for you, right? So anyway, he told me that there was no opening. But then, like, I think like 2 weeks after that, he reached out again by email and was like, are you free sometime, I think next week, for an interview? We would like to just get to know you. Apparently, I did not know that, after I had given me Ella, he went to check me on social media. That's why, again, your posts and all of those things, they matter because it shows the kind of person you are. So he checked me on LinkedIn, found out I had a blog, so I was reaching out to them that I wanted to be a content creator for CarryWise, right? But imagine if he started to do like research on me and never found any content, right? I mean, there are people that say, oh, I don't share stuff publicly. That's fine, but it just makes things easy sometimes. So he reading my blog actually, sort of like stamped it that, okay, this person is actually good at writing and all that. And, we had an interview. The interview too was really good. It was supposed to be an hour. It was 2 hours because it was like a conversation, right? And from there, I joined the team. One year and some months, or a month, I was the content marketer, and then I was promoted January this year to a growth marketing manager role. Well, actually three. I'm not the only growth marketing manager. There were three growth marketing managers. But yeah, so that's how I got the job. I didn't see any opening. Nobody shared a career page with me. I just saw that someone had left and I'd been eyeing that kind of company. So yeah, that's essentially how I joined.
This is amazing. Like, what about this thing is like super unscripted. You went your own route and got the magic happening for yourself. It's, it's not really conventional way you do it. There was a role, there was an open role. You went in, you said, this is what I really want. You shoot your shot or shot your shot, whatever it is you did. But yeah, you positioned yourself correctly and you got into CarryWise. That's
Yeah,
like brilliant. That's brilliant. So
yeah.
absolutely, I've heard your story several times, and I think it's so much of an inspiration. Thanks for going the extra mile, and you did amazingly well. So now the thing is, we have some persons on board, which we should be more than this, but we had like a glitch at some point. But the best part is, if you're here, please do well to drop something. Let's know you're here. And yes, right now they are live. If you want to follow our Instagram, yeah, I will share the link to you, so you can just go follow right on this very streaming platform. You see everything you need to see. Or do well to drop your emojis in the chat box, and let's see if you're getting value for your time here. So that's not exactly. There's another question which we jump into very soon. The third question, which is now let's wrap this. Let's make it very quick and fast. So what should a marketing enthusiast or beginner do in 24 hours to position better for a role in tech? What should someone do in 24 hours? As a person, I tend to think of timeline like someone in marketing or someone in growth, you tend to think around what move the needle. And the needle must be moved in it, like for the time bound, definitely. So what can someone do in 24 hours? It's not a lot. Definitely, you did not build what to do in 24 hours. But what can they do to at least move to the next step in this positioning thing we spoke about? So right now you have the stage.
Okay.
Blow us away.
Awesome. Okay, so I love that you mentioned that I didn't become who I am, and I'm still growing, right? I'm still improving, I'm still evolving in 24 hours. So I am assuming that this marketing enthusiast is somebody that already has skills, because I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to make it seem like, oh, in 24 hours, you're just going to blow powder. We always joke about this powder thing in my office. You're just going to blow powder in your hands and blow it, and everybody will say, come and work with us. Come and work with us. I cannot guarantee that.
No powder anywhere. No powder
There's
anywhere.
no powder. There's no powder anywhere. But my answers um, is sort of like geared towards someone that I am assuming that that person already has some sort of skills, right? And in marketing, you don't have to be the one that is writing. So on my team, we have Yemi, who is a video person, right? Like, he works in a tech company and he's helping us to create videos, right? So don't limit the types of skills really that you can do in tech. But my answer would be, so let's say you already have some sort of skill. Number one is to join a community. So I joined a community, I think the, yeah, a few weeks back, even though it's more like a religious community, it's not a job related community. But from just being in that space, I have learned so much, read about so many things that if I wasn't in that community, I wouldn't have known those things, right? So if you want to expose yourself in 24 hours to more opportunities, I would say look out for marketing. I mean, if it's marketing you want to work in tech, if it's not marketing and it is maybe engineering team, whatever team that it is, right? Look out for communities that are in line with that and join them. You can look out for those communities on LinkedIn. You can ask on your WhatsApp stories, right? Who knows a community that does this and this and this? And one person might know one person that knows the community. You can ask on your social media. You can check Twitter. Well, Instagram doesn't really have those kind of settings for a community like that. But yeah, join a community. The second thing that I would say that I've written down here is to show or talk about your work. So again, remember that I have said that this is somebody that already has skills. If you don't have skill, the first step is to have some sort of skill that is relevant and valuable in the tech space. So when you have that and you say, in 24 hours, I just want to see if this thing works. I want to see if you get some sort of attention. You can say, I'm going to go out of my comfort zone and I'll do a Twitter trend. Right. I mean, I've seen so many Twitter threads that have blown up by somebody sharing what they know, right? Or maybe you oversee social media or for your personal page, and you maybe carried out an experiment. Maybe you did reels, one reel in 30 days, and these are the results. Go to Twitter, go to LinkedIn, right, and talk about, I carried out this experiment on my personal page, 30 reels 30 views in 30 days, and these are the results. As a company, why aren't you, using Reels as a professional? I can join your team and begin to create Reels that gets you more attention. Trust me, you can't even, imagine the kind of opportunities that can come your way from you sharing. I know that, there's fear, so people that are introverted, for example, that might not be like super easy for them to do because they're like, I don't want anybody to know me and all that. But that's another way to get more attention or more opportunities in 24 hours. And the third thing I've said here is follow who know road, right? So for example, my Twitter, my Instagram, my colleague, one day I opened my Twitter on my laptop and I was just scrolling, looking at, tweets people had made. And my colleague was like, no, your Twitter is very boring. I'm like, leave it like that. Don't give me a headache. I've curated and followed certain people in such a way that my TL is the way I want. If I see any scatter, jaga on my TL, I know that I'm going to follow somebody that is causing problem, right, for me. So that would be the third thing I would say. I would say follow those who know road, and that's physically and online, right? But online, I feel like is one of the easiest ways to do that. So look at people in that space that you're interested in. If it's marketing, look at people that are in marketing in tech. If it is engineering, if it is product design, right? Go and stalk people in that space and just follow them because those kinds of people, they share opportunities in the tech space. So those are the three things I'll say that can work in 24 hours, but remember, you cannot blow powder, you have to have skill. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks,
I
Mo.
hope
It's
people are
so
still
good to have
here.
you. Yes, they are. You can see them from here. Definitely way more than 30 minutes right now, and this is like it's stretch. So can you give us like one couple 5 minutes left to make this like end this really smoothly? Can you?
Okay.
All right, please, let's do it.
Yeah.
But thanks for staying up. For everyone who's been here, thank you so much. She said something, follow who no road, like that's a major punchline. Like, you apply to those you follow, those you listen to, those you call coaches or mentors. You actually apply to all these things. But yeah, she has broken it down into bits, and let's go to the next thing. So now we have, yeah, so what you don't know about Mo is that she also runs Skill Up School, and that's like what she does to make sure people that are having issues coming to tech find it super smooth and easy. So right now, she will have a time for herself to sell and blow a trumpet because she's very good at something like this. So, Mo, what is Skill Up School? What should we expect? How do we sign up? What should we do? Give us the full gist.
Okay, so this part is a bit funny. But as the name implies, the skill up school, right? So it's like a virtual school where I teach, things that are or things that would essentially help you to upskill yourself, right? So it can be how to write your CV, how to prepare for interviews, how to write cover letters, what to do when you join a company as a new staff. Those are things that I essentially teach under the skill up school. But it's funny that right now I don't really have anything to sell, right, for the skill up school because I sort of paused. And I think this is also like a career lesson, right? That if you're working a 9 to 5, and you have should I say, side hustle. I don't want to call skill up school my side hustle because it's really, really, dear to my heart. And side hustle sometimes is like belittling it, right? But sometimes if you start to see that maybe you don't have the mental bandwidth for like more than one thing, or maybe it's starting to affect the quality of your work, and you have like a brand, like a personal brand where I do of doing only excellent work for people that are paying you, right? Sometimes you might need to pause on that. So that's exactly what I'm doing. But definitely, like, I was still reading through some things and strategizing on the next steps for the skill up school. But essentially you can follow us right now on Instagram. It's been a while I've posted on there, but just check the skill up school on Instagram, and yeah, you would see the page, so that whenever we start our classes and courses and have like our digital products again, so templates and things like that, you'll be the first to know about it. But yeah, as the name implies, it's just a virtual school. I try as much as possible not to have like physical classes because I've had like a class, a student from South Africa. I've had students that don't live in Nigeria. So yeah, making things physical will just sort of like limit things. So it's a virtual school that helps you to upskill and helps you to just do better in your career. That's it.
Right now, welcome again. As you can see, is a Skill Up School on Instagram. Please do all to go there, follow, engage. There are tons of value there already for free. Then if you have to go for the extra connection or reaching out to her, that's really fine. What you must learn is you should learn to pay for value because they don't come cheaply. But the thing is, on the page alone, there are things you can learn for there for free, tons of ways to penetrate, get a job, stay in there, make the best of connect, whatever it is, but there's already resources on the page already you can learn from. So right now, if you have questions, drop them in the comments in the chat. I'll see it from there and I'll pick it up. But please do also drop them as much as you can because I know people have issues really moving to tech. And I've been getting tons of things about toxic bosses, toxic gap in tech workspace, and everything. So Twitter was on fire some weeks back. So basically, there's a lot around
It's
the
still
tech
on
space right now.
fire.
Every day, someone is raising money every day. You can raise $50 million in this, and raise this. Everybody's raising something in tech. Even tomorrow, I have a friend that's launching something amazing, and I'll be at GI tomorrow. That's like too much permission though, but fine. But so that's just how it is. So people are building something in this space. And we have a question we got, which is like the one that stood out for most of us. So allow me share with you and let's know your thoughts as the expert on this. So this person said, anonymous, we didn't actually have to put their name on it. Said, thank you for this opportunity. I've been trying to transition from sales role B2B and B2C in brackets into a product marketing job because I've also been doing a job as a marketer in my current company, despite not having the title. But I haven't been getting any interviews when I apply, except for the times I send code emails and messages to the founders alone. Said, is this normal? As yet professional courses or product marketing courses to advise I take to improve my chance of getting a job. And said,
Mm.
it's my goal to get a new job before the end of this quarter. I need all the advice I can get. Thank you. Hope you got this, or do you want me to paraphrase it?
You can paraphrase. I think I got it, but just to be sure, you can paraphrase, the exact
Okay, so
question.
what the person said is, um, yeah, he or she has been trying to transition from a sales role into product
To
marketing.
product marketing.
And literally, that's the job he or she has been doing for a long time. Just that it's not like the official job title. And whenever
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to apply for a role, because it's not like the legit thing she has done, she doesn't get even an interview. She doesn't get interview access, except when she reaches out to the founders alone. So then, so what can you say about this? That means she actually is already in the space already, but she's trying to move to something else. But her current designation and what she's probably doing is not
Mm-hmm.
making her get that experience. So how does she manage this transition process? And she says
Mm-hmm.
that already been doing it. That means she actually has a work profile for that
Some
thing already in
experience.
marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for experience, but there's no stuff in code. There's no official designation in code, which has
Yeah.
been a challenge for moving for transitioning. What can she do right now? What do you think?
Okay. So the first thing I would say is ensure that your CV, and if they are asking also for a cover letter, is excellent, right? Because I find that a number of people know how to do the job, like they are good, whatever job application is out there, they fit really well, but they don't know how to, I always say, learn how to sell yourself, right? So before you even get to the interview stage, right, I would say ensure that your CV and your cover letters are good, like not good, excellent. And how do you make sure that happens? First is to highlight achievements. So a couple of people, for example, this person says they have been working in sales. I think I was still checking someone's CV like 2 weeks back, and the person had literally just copied and pasted their job description. So you see how when you get a job at a company, they give you like a list of things to do. That's what the person pasted on their CV as their you know, pasted on their CV as the things that they do. But beyond that, try as much as possible to think through, okay, so I've worked in sales for this amount of years. This and this are sometimes they don't even have to be many. If it's just four things, right, that you can remember that you can highlight as achievements for the company that you worked as a salesperson, highlight those things. As a recruiter, when that person stops and sees it, it's just different from when they see somebody that has made a list of their job description, right? For example, there's a difference between somebody that says, maybe the title of the role is social media manager, so they put social media manager XX company from 2020 till date, and under it they write, excuse me, under it they write uh, post twice every weekday, then they write reply DMs, right? Those are good things. But if you compare that kind of CV to somebody that says increase engagement by 100% in 3 months, which one are you going to stop and look at and invite for an interview? If the person, on the right is saying that, what other achievements can you have as a social media manager? Maybe improved, online sales from just one channel of social media, maybe for example Instagram. Those are tangible achievements. So I would ask this person, or I would advise the person, right, to ensure that they are highlighting achievements and not just like job description on their CV and on their cover letter. And the next thing I've said here is to look for applications and tailor your CV towards specific applications. Another mistake I find that people make, and because of that, they are not called for interviews, is that you have one CV, almighty CV, and that's the CV that you use for everything. You can't do that, right? So what will help is that if you see company A, right, is asking for a social media manager, go to that career page, that page that they have put that application on, read through the things that they have asked for, pick out 2 to 3, not or maybe 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 words, right, that they have highlighted that they are looking for, and see how you can, put that into your CV. Be mindful though that you are not lying. So it's not that you get the job finished and you can't do it, but those are things that you actually know how to do. right? So always, have specific CVs, specific cover letters for specific job roles. Never have one CV. So that's another thing I would advise this person. And number two is on their CV, on their cover letter, as well as during the interviews, they had to learn how to merge sales and marketing. So for some companies, if you are just there and you are just talking about certain sales, you are just doing that, the person will be like, is this really the person I want? Because product marketing is not, we don't call it sales, right? It's not really sales. So you have to find a way to I guess the word is merge the vocabulary, if that makes sense, right? That product marketers or hirers are looking for, and then use that in your CV, in your cover letter, and during your interview. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope that the person is here, they're listening, and that helps.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo. Thanks for always doing this. You're always coming up with one action point, action plan, what to do next. For me, what stuck out is don't have a generic CV. So you should be able to tailor it based on what you're applying for. And I think that's a function of laziness too, because I think that is because I've also done it at some point. So probably because of the rejection rate at some point, they're like, this thing I'm even trying to apply for, much I will get it, and just send it the way it is. But I've, I've grown. I feel that's one of the dumbest thing I did, which is really terrible. So companies are specific, they know what they really want. So
Yeah,
tailor your skill set to what they really want.
yeah,
But that's a nice one. Thank you so much. I think we have one question here. Then we'll call it a wrap up as soon as possible. This
yeah.
person said, what skills do one need to enter into growth marketing? What skills? Do you have,
Okay.
go ahead.
So there are a number of skills, right, that you should have. But I found that for you to, I said that I joined my company as a content marketer, right? And now I'm sort of I've gone beyond just, even though a lot of marketing is still content, right? But I've moved past, overseeing just content to overseeing a couple of other things, right? So if you want to grow or transition into growth marketing, the first thing, as I've said earlier, make sure you shall have one skill, right? Because everybody in the growth team as carriers, for example, we have the email marketing person, we have social media person, we have a video motion graphic person, we have a creative designer. So we have different skills, right? And everybody then comes together and puts out the amazing content that the world sees. So the first thing for you is, what is that? First of all, one, what's that one skill that that you do well, that is valuable to a tech company, right? And after that, to now grow to maybe like managerial role and all of that, because growth marketing encompasses a number of things, right? So it will mean that beyond that one skill that you have, you should be able to merge, like learn other things, on the job, merge all of those things. There's something they call it like a, I don't know, but the word that comes to mind is more like a an all-round person. So I'm not saying know everything in the world, but ensure that you are that person also, that if they are talking about it, because if you say you are a growth marketer, right? If they're talking about social media, you should be able to say something. If they are talking about email marketing, you should be able to say, I'm not saying you must know it all. You should be able to say something. If they are talking about performance marketing, you should know something about it, right? So just having like a wide range of knowledge, right? But having very, very specific skills that are useful as well. So I think that's it for that question.
All right, well, thank you so much for this. You're always coming up with something really brilliant. Thank you so much. So now this
Thank
is where we
you.
come to the end of this. We've actually been able to answer a lot of questions already. We had two quite odd questions we've answered. So this is me saying thank you, Mo, for honoring this very invitation. You're doing a lot of things and you have to put them on hold for this. It's been a joy knowing you. I'm so happy to say I can reach you within one or two messages or one phone call. It's premium. I'm grateful. It's premium. I'm very grateful. And I really hope that we do big things in the future, bigger than this very one. At this point, I think this is everything I have for you. But now let's take a picture because that's what we do here when we shop on PC. We take pictures. So right, we want to. So right now, what you have to do actually, as someone streaming, please do well to take a screenshot of this, put it everywhere on your Instagram. Before we go live, thank God that you remember right now. So take a picture right now and do well to tag this, this tag her. This is a handle on Instagram. Do well to tag her. I think her name is Mobolaji. So that's just it. Take a screenshot of this, share it everywhere. Tell people something massive happened today and you got to hack into the text you always wanted. And also, definitely, this is for Mobolaji. You can also join on Funnels Africa to do to start this and so Funnels Africa is the brand that is bringing up this, putting this forward. Sorry. Why my personal handle is the Chris Ogechi. So yeah, I have a feminine name. So this is my name, and I love it. So that's a good one. So at this point, let's take a picture and we will move to what's the next big thing. So now we have to just do this. Or well, I'll just smile for happily and let's take a picture. Um, yeah. All right. Thank you, Mo. It's always
Thank
good
you
to have
so
you here,
much.
and
Thanks for
I'm
having me.
grateful to have you here. So at this point, we have to let Mo go. I think we have some comments too, but we can't take any more right now. All right, so that's just it. So thank you, and now you
Thank
can
you so much.
exit this, and we would like to have. You can take your exit right now. By I just address everybody and we close this.
Okay, bye everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. It's been amazing showing up. This has been a lot. Thank you. We had some turbulence at some point because but yeah, we did it. The biggest thing is we did it, we got in, and we got the magic happening. So that's the big part. So thank you so much for joining us. All of Africa, Olua, Joel, um, everybody that showed up. Thank you, thank you. We had more persons showing up, and we had the fire emojis. I'm seeing the thumbnails, I'm seeing the okay sign. Thank you. This is premium for me. At this point, we call the wrap. For those to follow on Instagram, as I said, there'll be tons of snippets like this. The good thing about this thing is there's no replay. And so if those that missed out are out completely. But you can only get snippets on Instagram. And if you're on the WhatsApp channel, on the WhatsApp contact, which where you can reach me personally, I'm going to be sharing tons of these things on the story. So you are going to get value regardless. But for those that didn't join in, that's that for them. So it's exclusive and it's only for those that showed up here. So thank you for showing up. And at this point, I would like you to, like what to about, but do also follow these handles while we say goodbye. So follow these handles. This is the one for me. Go on Instagram and act accordingly. So right now, signing off. Thank you.